right.
COVID-19 as he's breathing down.
Exactly.
Reclaiming Lives, Recovery Cafe Live. Brandon Orr here on, this is our 30th episode.
Yes,
So I'm feeling pretty special about that. I didn't think I had 30 of these in me. I'm not going to fib. Now I know how the people that do it professionally feel. It's exhausting and tiring, but I'll tell you what, it's exciting all at the same time.
You do it professionally. He's not doing it for free.
It's absolutely fun and it's a blast. And today we have not only a friend but a mentor. His name's Bill Mance. If you guys don't know him, you will get to know him.
Hi, everybody.
But we're going to let Stephanie do the intro, and then we're going to get busy with Bill and I.
Yeah, hey everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Stephanie Mendenhall, Executive Director of Reclaiming Lives. If you've been following us for long, or if you're new, some of this will be repeat, but we are excited to have you join us today for Facebook Live. We have our board chair and personal friend of mine, Bill Mance, joining us to talk about some of the guiding principles and about what motivates him to be a part of this organization. We are on the final day of our 6 days of giving. This is Giving Tuesday worldwide, so it was an effort to help nonprofits raise money to respond to the COVID-19 crisis. And so we created a plan to kind of be able to give messaging around our guiding principles and help you understand what motivates us and what we do here. We have a newsletter going out this afternoon, an email, and we'll be on the website that you should take a look at if you're interested more in what we do. Brandon's featured in that newsletter in his new position, and we're excited about the things that we've been able to accomplish for the people that are in our lives, and it's been a real honor to just be able to partner with other organizations and do the work that we do. We feel very privileged to see people take the steps to change who they are and what direction they're moving in. It's a real honor to be here. So, Brandon, you want to talk about how much money we've raised so far?
So it's a match raise, and everything that we are able to collect, Recovery Cafe Network in Seattle is going to match us dollar for dollar up to $10,000. And as of right now, we have $4,495.
Yay!
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for believing in us and taking the time to open your money wallets and your purses and your checkbooks. Because I tell you what, when this thing started, I was unsure how it was going to go. Fundraising virtually is not a real easy thing, but what we do here really impacts our community in a positive way, and you guys have really been showing us that what we do matters. So I want to thank you guys personally from the bottom of our hearts. Today is the last day, so of course, if you feel like it, you can dump some more money on us. It's good.
It'd be great to round it off today. Whatever you guys have, every little bit counts. So,
but if not, we're doing great, and we're still going to keep doing what we're doing. But we just sure do appreciate everything you guys do for us, and that we're able to do for you guys and believing in us. It's a big deal. I didn't think we'd raise that much money, and we absolutely did. I'm pretty. Well, I've never had to raise money before, so there's that. So for me, that's a ton of cash. But I'm pretty happy to be in an organization like this where we wake up every day just trying to help people, and people see that, and it's making a difference. So thank you guys.
We have an amazing community that want to see people get well. So we appreciate you standing alongside us and just being a partner, however that looks like. It's been amazing for our family, Tony and I, to have the support that we have in the work that we're doing. And we appreciate every single one of you. So thank you. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Brandon.
Yeah. Here comes my favorite time of the day. And most stressful sometimes, let me tell you. Let me get a drink of water here. Bill Mance, ladies and gentlemen.
Good to see everybody.
Bill is the board chair, as Stephanie said here. And I remember when I first walked into the cafe and I met Bill, he kind of whipped my butt in some cribbage. And you remember that? Yeah. I still owe him a game. But, the heart that he had for the cafe, I didn't know anything about this gentleman. And I don't know why, but he took a liking to me real quick. I don't know what that was about. It was different because what he said mattered to me for some reason. It resonated, and he asked a lot of questions, and I gave him the best answers I possibly could. And from then on, we really became friends. I do consider him, like I said, a mentor. I learned a lot from him and Stephanie both. I'm pretty blessed to have these two individuals in my life that believe in me and want to see me grow to become what I guess I'm supposed to become in this community, and that is a servant of our community to help the still suffering addict. So with that being said, Bill Mance, how's everything going during this COVID-19 episode?
So everything is good. It's been really amazing to see both the Reclaiming Lives and Recovery Cafe community as they've stopped by and stayed committed to helping each other out. I can't tell you, last night we had our first Zoom cafe meeting, and I sat there through that at my desk.
Working
away, which is kind of my thing. But there were just these amazing moments of people reaching out to each other, and I just said, you know what? We've been away from each other for a while, but the spirit of cafe still lives. So it was a pretty special evening to get about 26 or 7 of us together, and we actually had a virtual cafe without the really good coffee. So I did miss the coffee.
Yeah, we tried to turn the coffee machine on, and we warmed it all up, and then we realized, oh shoot, we don't have any milk.
We had milk.
Oh, we had milk. It was just no good.
It was just rotten.
Yeah. So that was pretty neat. But yeah, he's absolutely right. Last night's Zoom cafe, which seriously, when he started talking, it almost made me tear up. Like I miss you guys out there dearly. We, like you said, there was just a bunch of great connection on there that just blew my mind. There was a bunch of really good affirmations put out by other people, for other people, from other people that really mattered, and I got to take home with me. One was Andrea Holloway. Man, she blew my mind last night. You know, she spoke that, you know, during this COVID-19, I've been finding a lot of positive, and it's like, you know, that's what we need right now more than anything, is a bunch of positive, because I'm finding a bunch of positive in this, and through this I'm finding a bunch of growth, right? Like if we can get through this, it's like, and same with you guys out there. If you guys are, you know, fighting your addiction right now and you're winning, remember that you guys are beating this addiction through the COVID-19 episode. Not a lot of people are going to be able to say that. So, you know, kudos to you. Bill, I have a question for you.
I'm ready, I think.
What inspired you to be a part of the cafe, of Recovery Cafe?
Well, I think we all have a connection with Tony and Stephanie. I think that's kind of the easy answer. They're contagious when it comes to when it got to be careful when you say that in the COVID-19 era. But you know, you just kind of get their heart and their spirit, and it just shows up, and they're so real, and so just. They have just a commitment that you just don't see in a lot of people. And, you know, I got the blessing, for those who don't know, you know, my advertising agency is literally on the same floor as Reclaiming Lives, and we see each other every day. And Stephanie, while she was kind of preparing to create what we started, worked for me. And so we got the opportunity to work together. So Stephanie and I have spent a lot of time together over the last year, a little over a year, pulling these pieces together. So certainly the Mendenhall effect was a big part of it.
The Mendenhall effect.
You know, I've done a lot of work in the community with a lot of different charities and things like that, and I have a heart for giving. It's just ingrained in me. I would much rather give than receive, and I try to give as much as I possibly can, as often as I can. And it just kind of, it makes me who I am. It makes things worth doing. And I've been that way for a long time. But I remember when we were very early on with a group of people that were putting together the Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafe part of Reclaiming Lives. And they had gone up to Seattle, and they came back with this just exuberance for the experience they had, and honestly, I you know, I didn't catch it. You know, I didn't understand it. They were talking about a culture and a heart and a environment that they had never experienced before, and it was perfect for what we had hoped we would do. And so the second trip up I went to, And it really touched me. I got the opportunity to talk to some of their members it's been going on for 15 years up there. Got trained, but there were a couple of moments along the way. I talked to a gentleman who spent a little time in Southern Oregon, homeless, that ended up homeless in Seattle, and just his journey. He'd been there the whole 15 years Recovery Cafe had been open, was still going. He was now mentoring people and helping other people through, and that really touched my heart. But I think what really got me, we're all staying at a bed and breakfast, and Stephanie and Tony's Patty was with us on this trip. And that night, I went for a little walk, which I don't do often enough, but I should do more. But I went for a little walk, and Patty was outside in front of the house. And Patty sat down on the curb and was crying. And I didn't know Patty super well, but that night, she had lost a friend in Ashland to an overdose while we were up there. And at that particular moment, I just said, we have got to do this. We've got to figure out a way to connect our community in recovery, not in addiction. And it just, I think I was forever changed at that particular moment to see what Patty was going through and the love that she had for somebody in her life, that she'd been in addiction with this person. And the opportunity to transition from a community of addiction to a community of recovery just happened at that particular moment. So I think that was when I really became committed.
Huh?
Yeah.
Holy crud, I had so much in there, and then you told that story and my emotions got the best of me. I just love Patty around here. You know, the part for me that I caught out of your story was like, that moment of change where, like, I would have loved to see your face at that moment of change, like where your heart, like, I know that you had a direction you were wanting to head to, and then you seen a pivotal point to where everything circled and spread up. Yep, this is what we're doing. This is like, you had a feeling for it because you talked to this gentleman, and then you seen somebody personally who you knew that was going through something because of addiction, through the suffering, and then your whole outlook changed on it. Holy crud.
Yeah. Just became really for my home and my community. I was born here in Medford, and I just, you know, to want to bring the spirit of cafe to Southern Oregon just became a passion, and it was also very scary because if you create cafe but you don't create the spirit of cafe, it really doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know, and so
like
the way everybody interacts with each other, the way that the power of the circles, all of the things that we're doing. I have to tell you, at 58 years old, it's given me some youthful energy, and it's really giving me a purpose. So for all of you who are engaged in Reclaiming Lives in Recovery Cafe, thanks for giving me smiles and tears and passion in my life.
You know, I remember one time you told me, you're like you feel rejuvenated again. Like,
yeah.
Like you had a fire lit under that butt when you were doing this. And I remember one time, oh, this is going to be good. I remember one time that I had asked you to sub a circle. So Bill has also been peer support specialist trained, and which was very entertaining for me when I got to go in there and watch him and Stephanie do that. That was pretty cool. But I asked you to sub a circle one time. What was that like?
Well, the first thing to recognize is the circle was really a triangle because there was only 3 of us. But the first thing that really connected was the fact that there were just a number of people missing that night. But the 2 people who had been in the circles together prior to me subbing had a real connection with each other. And they really were different kinds of people. So people that normally wouldn't, but they were protective and caring and helpful. And so to watch the 2 of them interact was really cool. they really kind of helped me through my first meeting, if you will. Certainly more than I met with them, but the other piece of it was it created a connection that they really shared that night what they were struggling with and going through, and then the ability for me to, after it was all over, and it was exhilarating. First of all, I felt it was like, hey, this was really a neat personal experience, but. To follow up afterwards with both people and find out the things that they were going through and how they were progressing along kind of gave me that transition from Recovery Cafe to Reclaiming Lives. So we created a short bond in about an hour. Right. And then, but we always, since that point, every time we've seen each other, how are you doing with that? Are you still struggling with this? And stuff like that. So I understood all of a sudden what circles were all about. So great experience. If I ever end up subbing for you, I'm apologizing in advance.
No, you did great. So I asked the guys, I'm like, how Bill do you guys, they actually really enjoyed your company. They liked how, you made sure to make yourself present and available for them, emotionally, respectfully, and they said that you had some passion behind it. So the reason I bring that up is because I remember walking out of my circle at the time, because we shared time slots. That's why I would have subbed that circle at that time. And that smile on your face, bro. Oh, that smile on your face, though, just ear to ear. Like, Bill has that often, but that one, like, he had a glow to him. Like, it felt to me like I didn't know who to ask, and we're stepping like, ask Bill. And it was like the perfect time because you came out of there with a glow.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Yeah, it was great. So.
Yeah, I'm super glad we had you that day too, because that had been a little rough. But another question I have is, like, as you've watched the cafe grow, what's been your proudest moment? From the minute we started to, let's say, even right before COVID, when the cafe was full, when we started out with, like, what was it, like 8 people or something like that, and then next thing you know, we're blowing the buttons off our shirt with like 60.
The growth is interesting. It's not for me. It hasn't been. I've been as excited about the growth as the quality of the experience. I think highlight moment. And probably understanding a little bit. So my relationship with addiction is I know I just have a lot of family members and people in my life, but I haven't had a real addiction problem myself. I've always been scared of it because of those who I've been around, my father, my grandfather, my mother. And I just never used that much. So not perfect by any means, but. I think that when one of our members fell back and started using again, and then I heard the story that the members of that person's circle had their eyes out and their contacts out on the streets watching for her. And then when she was in a place where people had seen her, that it wasn't Stephanie and Bill and Tony running to her rescue. It was her circle that ran to her rescue and gave her another chance to start over again. I think that is the thing that I love most about what we're doing is the fact that it's about celebrating recovery, which I love, but it's also giving the opportunity that if you fall back to start over again, without judgment, without anything. And this was an example of that. But it was just neat to see that it wasn't the leadership team. And it became apparent to me that at that point, we no longer owned Cafe. Cafe was no longer ours. It was the members. It was that spirit I talked about in Seattle that had truly arrived. We'd accomplished bringing that secret sauce to Southern Oregon. So I think that was the big one.
I didn't think you were going to say that, but that was really good because I remember that day specifically.
You were part of that.
Yeah, and we went out with flashlights and a crew, and we were looking, and we didn't give up. Wow, what a memory that was. And we still love you out there. Just want to let you know if you're watching this, we love you to death, and we're waiting for you. Yeah. There's a moment that really sticks out to me with you, Bill. That one of my favorite moments with you was I never did a fundraiser before. I never understood what fundraising was about. I didn't know that it was really even a thing. I just heard about it on Jerry's telethon one time or something like that when I was a kid. And,
so you're old.
Yeah, I know, man. We're live. Pipe it down, buddy. No. But like you got up there and you spoke. And when you spoke, you got vulnerable for a minute. And to me, it was like you said some words up there about your past that I didn't think I'd ever get to know. And to me, it was like that was a shining moment of who you are in what we do here. And I knew from that point forward that this is where I wanted to be with you guys. Stephanie already heard my most embarrassing moment one time, which was pretty neat. And then to like be able to sit and talk with you so many times, and then you just believing in me so much that, you know, I'm finally believing in myself here. Like, I want to thank you for that.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Dang it. Dang it, Bill. I haven't had people in my life believe in me like that before. And it's something I've always looked for. And I want to thank you for that personally.
You're so welcome.
You have a
You're
good
easy
way
to believe in.
You have a good way of encouraging growth. I'm telling you that right now, which is the other thing I was going to talk on. But I mean, you pretty much already said it, word for word, and how you give back. Bill, that's what you do is you do give back. You give your time, you give your efforts. I mean, you're one of the hardest working men I've ever met in my life, besides my father.
Don't aspire to be that, by the way.
But I mean, like, I look for that in men that I look up to, and you're one of them. So I want to thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have any encouraging words for anybody out there who may be backsliding, who may be trying to find a way, a place, or even just a positive note for the day?
I would say this, especially after watching the Zoom meeting last night. I would say this: during this COVID-19 era, with isolation and with separation from the people that are normally in your life and engaging, and people have been lonely, and people have been scared, confused. There's a lot of confusion out there. I think that a few of you have really, and it kind of showed up last night, the temptation or the desire to fall back is very, very strong with a lot of folks. And so I would, first of all, fighting those off, you continue to be a champion. You continue to be an amazing person with amazing will. But I would say this: don't be ashamed of the fact that you feel that desire. And more importantly, if you have fallen back, remember, you are a person in recovery. You are not an addict. And just start over. And as soon as we can all get back together, we'll create some more support around you, but also reach out. So I think that when we all went into this, Brandon and Stephanie and I sat down and we kind of talked about, what are we going to do? And we didn't know what the rules were going to be. But we basically said, we're going to figure out whatever it is that people need. We're going to figure out a way to help. And we're going to do that every day, all the way through this thing. Yeah. And so don't feel guilt and don't feel shame. Just start over. And no judgment here.
Right. Thank you, Bill, so much. Oh, this was an emotional one. I knew it was going to be. I just got so much love for you and Stephanie and what you guys are what you guys are doing here and letting me come along the ride and just make this whole town a better place with the love we have for people, because we are going to love them no matter what and no matter where you're at. So please don't forget that. We're going to be right here at the Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafe. If you guys feel like you just can't get a handle on the day, give me a call. If you feel like you don't know where you could belong, I'm telling you right now, we have a space for you right here. We are not going to give up, so I'm going to ask you personally, don't give up on yourself, because we're going nowhere. Couple side notes, I'm dropping these down to 2 days a week. And
It's my fault, everybody.
and just know that you could be called anytime to come on with me here. But Thursday, I have a real special guest, a really good friend out of Eugene. He's the Oxford House Outreach for Southern Oregon. His name's Leaf. You'll see him on all the comments here telling me how cool I am and how great I am. I mean, he ain't wrong. But yeah, he's a true miracle, true inspiration, and he definitely has another outlook on recovery. His story is one to be told, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Like Stephanie said, this is the last day of Giving Tuesday. So whatever we can gather, we'd really appreciate it, because we have a lot of people out there that need help, and we want to be able to provide that help and hope for them. So with that being said, Brandon Orr, Bill Mance, and Stephanie in the background, always doing her thing, typing faster than anybody I know that can ever type. And we love you guys to death. Remember, we're right here for you, okay? Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you. God bless.